Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Ray Love. I know you guys missed me. I've had a lot going on for the past couple weeks. It's been crazy. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to see a little bit more of my face. And I'll have all my social media, or a couple of them, in the description below. But today I am coming to you guys with the story time. I don't know why these things always happen to me, but it happened. Sorry for sounding a little weird too. I'm a little sick, so I'm getting over a cold and everything, but yeah. So this story time is about how I cut my finger off. And no, I'm not exaggerating. No, this is not clickbait. I literally cut off my finger. And it was on August 17th. So it's been a minute now. And I got it wrapped up, and I'm just hoping like by the time it's my birthday, because my birthday is on the 14th of this month, September, and I don't want to be worried about my finger, so I'm just hoping it's healed all the way by then, or at least majority of the way. But let's get right into this story time. So everyone knows that I work at a Walmart, but I work in the deli, so I'm with the food. You know, we cook and we slice meats and cheese, and I know you probably already know where this is heading, like this story is going. But it did not happen during like the day. At 8 o'clock we closed down the deli and we are no longer handling customers, so we start our cleaning from 8 to 10, and then 10 o'clock is where we clock out and we go home. So on August 17th, I had just got off of my lunch break at around 8:22. I headed back to the deli and to start my cleaning routine. And I grabbed my bucket full of hot water and soap. I grabbed the green scrubbing pad and I walked over to the slicers. Before I start scrubbing the slicers, I knock all the food off of it. So that's what I was doing. And I proceeded to clean the slicers. And how they taught me was to turn on the slicers because the bottom of the blade is not fully exposed. So in order of us to get the food off of the bottom of the blade, we have to turn it on and then like scrub it a little bit and let the food like just kind of fly off. And so that is exactly what I attempted to do. Now, I've been doing it this way forever because this is how they taught me how to do it, and I didn't think anything of it, and nothing has ever happened. I never cut anything, like I never cut my finger or, you know, got a scratch or anything. But thinking back, like a week before this happened, we got our slicers sharpened because it was really dull, it was really hard to cut meat and stuff, and so we got it sharpened, and I forgot all about it. I wasn't thinking of it. So what happened was I turned on the slicers and I grabbed my green scrubbing pad, and as soon as I went to wipe, I don't know, it happened so fast, like I just saw like a piece of the scrubbing pad and my finger just fly off, and I was just like I pulled back so fast, I was so scared, and I just seen blood, and I seen like a part of my finger was missing, and at that point it did not hurt. I swear to you, it did not hurt at all. And so like it's bleeding so much, and so I grabbed some paper towels and I covered it, and then I worked with this guy, and I ran back to him because he was washing dishes, and I was just like, I don't know what to do, like I think I cut a part of my finger off, like it's bleeding so much, and he was not paying attention, you guys. He was like, oh, it's okay, I will take care of the slices, I'll clean the slices, just try to keep your hand out of hot water because you don't want it to burn or anything like that. And I'm like, do you see this? Like I'm bleeding a lot, like I have blood running down my freaking arms, it was dripping on the floor, on my pants, and then he looks and he sees the blood, and he's still not paying attention, like fully aware of what's happening. He was like, get a band-aid on that and just be careful. And then I unwrapped it, you guys, and when he saw, he was so in shock. I was like, I don't think a band-aid is going to stop this from bleeding. He was like, you know what, you're right. And I was like, I don't know, should I go find like the manager? Like I was panicking so much. and I was scared because I didn't want to die. I didn't want to bleed to death. And he was like, yeah, maybe you should, yeah. So I ran to the back, and then I'm just all, I'm kind of like calm and collective, like it never happened. And I go to the manager, and I'm like, I'm sorry to bother you. I know you might be busy, but I had an accident at my department, and I don't know what to do. Like my hand is bleeding, and he didn't know like what was under the paper towels because I was holding it. He just seen blood, and he's just like, let me see, like let me see what happened. So I take the paper towel off of my hand, and he's just like, oh, like he started panicking, running all over the place. He was like, oh my god, we need to go to the hospital. Oh my god. So then I got scared, and then he's like, just go to the break room really quick, and I'll be right there with you. I just need to go tell a couple of the other managers who are here. So I'm like, okay. I go to the break room, and I'm standing there, and all of a sudden the pain hits me, and it hits me hard, you guys. Like I'm pacing back and forth, and I'm crying, and I'm trying to hold pressure on it, but it hurts so bad, but at the same time it's bleeding so much. And I'm just like, oh my god, like I hope he hurries up, because like I'm just ready to get to the hospital. Maybe they'll give me something for the pain, and they can hurry up and stop the bleeding. And so yeah, he finally came back there, and he came back with the guy that I was working with, and he was just letting him know that we're gonna be going to the hospital, and hopefully he can handle like cleaning the deli by himself for that night, which he was fine, and he was able to do it. And so we finally leave, walking out the door to his car because he's gonna take me to the hospital. And literally a couple of minutes before I sliced my finger, my cousins came because to buy some stuff. Usually we walk home together, but they came a little bit earlier just to buy some stuff, and then they were gonna come back. And so while we were walking to the manager's car, he was helping me get in and stuff, because this is my dominant hand. Like I am right-handed. I couldn't open the door because I had one hand that was gripping, trying to stop from bleeding, and then I couldn't use this hand. I was in so much pain. And so like I'm holding the paper towels with these fingers right here, and I'm trying to call my aunt, and I'm trying to text my cousins and tell them like, don't come back, I'm not going to be there, I'm going to the hospital. No one is answering their phone, and me and the manager are looking for a hospital that's nearby, because I didn't know where one was, and he didn't either. So we're like driving all over the place. My GPS is acting stupid, like it's not working, it's just not working. And then his GPS is leading him to places where, like, to the middle of nowhere basically, and I'm sitting there bleeding. Like I'm bleeding, I still have blood running all down my arms, it's dripping onto my pants, all over my clothes, and I'm just like, is this the night that I actually die, or am I gonna die tonight, or like what's going on? But yeah, so finally my aunt calls, and I told her what happened, and I was going to be going to the hospital. I hear everybody in the background like, oh my god, they're panicking, and I'm scared, and it was just crazy. And so my manager was talking to someone on the phone, trying to find the nearest hospital, because my phone is acting weird and his phone is acting weird. And so we get to a hospital, and no one is in the parking lot, no one is there, and I'm like, wait, is this place closed? And he was like, I don't know. So he gets out the car, and long and behold, the place is closed, you guys. So it's just getting more frustrating and more frustrating as we go, and I'm just like, I hope we find a place soon. And so my manager ended up calling the person again, because at that time they had got off the phone when he thought we found the hospital. And he's like, hey, did you know this place is closed? He was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And he was like, well, you need to hurry up, like let me know where a hospital is, because she's bleeding, like she's bleeding a lot, it's not a little bit. And then he's like, okay, so literally everybody is panicking, and I finally find this hospital on Google, and that was close by. It wasn't that far away, it was about maybe 9 minutes away. And so we're driving, and then finally my GPS and his GPS started working, It led us to the right place. We finally get to the hospital and we get out and we go in and we're letting them know like, hey, I had an accident at work and I'm bleeding a lot. They see it and then they're like, oh, okay, well, you just have to fill out these forms. And I'm just sitting there like, are y'all seriously gonna let me sit here and bleed like this? I can't even write with my left hand. Like, what am I, like? But I ended up filling out the forms. It looked so sloppy because, like I just said, I'm not a left-handed person, which when this happened, I basically had to become left-handed overnight because now I have to use my left hand for everything right now because I cannot put pressure on this because it hurts so bad when I do. But I fill out the forms and I'm like, I'm sorry for the sloppiness. I can't write with my left hand. They're like, oh, they're laughing and stuff. It's okay, you know. You just go in the waiting room and the doctor will be with you shortly. So I'm sitting in the waiting room and we're actually filling out a couple of more paperwork for the doctors, and about, I want to say 5 minutes later, they call me back there. So I'm going back there and I'm excited, like, finally, because like I'm in so much pain, I'm bleeding so much, and I'm just ready to get this done and over with, and I just want to go home and relax. But I went back there only for them to sit me in the hallway and me wait there like forever. Like I waited forever for them to come, and then the nurses were all over there in the corner just laughing and talking amongst themselves while I'm sitting there bleeding to death and, you know, crying because I'm in so much pain. And then like I start to get dizzy. I'm sitting there and I start to get dizzy, so I'm like trying to keep my balance because I feel like I'm gonna pass out. And I don't know if it was because of me losing so much blood or if I was just overthinking or panicking a little bit too much, but I got dizzy. And I was just sitting there and I was rocking back and forth because I'm trying to hold my balance. The nurse is walking by and she's looking at me like, oh my God, is this girl okay? Like, is she okay? And then she just walks by and then that was it. So I'm like, well, is someone gonna come? I'm thinking this, like, is someone gonna come help me? Like, what's going on? So they're taking forever. Finally, a nurse comes, but only just to get some information, and she leaves. And then someone else comes. We have to go take x-rays. And the paper towel, guys, that I had been holding on my fingers for a while had started to dry up a little bit on there. So when I had to go take the x-rays, I had to take it off, and it was stuck, and it just hurt so bad. It hurted so bad. And I was just peeling it off, and I'm just crying, and it was horrible. Like, one of the most horrible experiences I've ever had. But finally, we get the x-rays done, and they said they were doing the x-rays because they wanted to see how deep I got into it, which when it was actually like dried up a little bit, I can see a little piece of my bone, and then it of course started bleeding again because I took the pressure off by taking off the paper towel. So they gave me gauze instead so it wouldn't stick like how that did, which worked a little bit better, but it still stuck a little bit. And yeah, so I went back into the hallway, was sitting there crying because I'm still in so much pain. They didn't give me any pain medication, anything like that. I think that was like one of the worst hospitals I've ever been to, but you know, it is what it is. Finally, a nurse comes and she's coming to wrap it up. She had to clean it first, which burned and stung really bad. And I was, of course, crying still. And she attempts to wrap it. She put like this little block thing that she told me was supposed to stop the bleeding. So she put that on there. She wrapped like my entire hand, which only this finger is the one that it happened to. But she wrapped my entire hand. And then I'm sitting there for a while. She come back to give me a Technic shot. And so she does that, and long and behold, my finger starts bleeding again. So she unwraps it. And then she had Neosporin on there, which I think helped with the pain a little bit. Other than that, they gave me no pain medication. And I had to wait for my prescription, but I'll get to that in a second, which that part's not really important. I just went and got the prescription, but it started bleeding again. So she unwrapped it. She got another one of those blocks and she put one on the front and on the side because the cut is kind of like, I didn't cut it off like horizontally, I cut it off like diagonally, so my whole fingerprint is gone. Like there's no fingerprint on my middle finger of my right hand. And so she wraps it again and everything's fine. They give me my prescription. I go and get my prescription, which didn't take very long, and then my manager dropped me off at home. And so I'm telling my family what happened, like I'm tired, they're like sad, and they're like, I'm sorry that this happened to you. And I'm like, it's okay, you know, things happen, I don't really know what to do. By that time, the pain that I was in was kind of numb to me. I didn't take my medication just yet, I just wanted to get undressed and then take it while I eat. And so I went downstairs to my room, I took off my shirt, and I must have did something because it started bleeding again. So I got scared. And I went upstairs, I'm like, can somebody please help me rewrap this because it's bleeding again. They're like, oh my God, like they got scared, and I was scared because I didn't want to have to go back to the hospital. And so I unwrapped it, they helped me to rewrap it again. I went downstairs and it started bleeding again. And I'm crying because I'm like, am I gonna die? Like, I'm losing so much blood. But I was gonna rewrap it again, but I didn't want to keep unwrapping and rewrapping if it was just gonna keep bleeding, so I just left it alone. I let it bleed, and then it stopped bleeding. It finally stopped bleeding, and I was like, oh my God. So yeah, that's basically what's been going on with me now. It's kind of hard when I go to work. I just got a second job, and I can't put pressure on it because it hurts. I can't get it wet. I can't do a lot of things. I can't write. I can't even do my own hair. And that's why I'm looking a little bit rough or whatever. It might not look too bad to you, but I can't wait till I get my weave back popping. So yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since this happened. Hopefully it heals soon. Sorry for the long story, but if anyone was interested in or wondering where I've been, that's what happened. So yeah, that's how I cut off my finger. So if you did this video, thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. You know, that was a really crazy night, but you know, things happen. I've had things like this happen to me before. And thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video. I think I'm going to record another video, so don't mind the same shirt and everything. But don't forget to comment down below if you had any similar experiences or anything you want to say or add on to what just happened or the story time I just told. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you are new, you might as well subscribe. You know, just subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.